Hi guys. So earlier today yesterday I asked the question, must you be willing to, or must you accept that a relationship will end? And why is that so important? So as you know, there's a paradox, and there always has been. All right? The paradox is what you do want and what you don't want exist side by side. Correct? Well, the other thing that you must remember in your experience is this. Everything is borrowed and temporary. Nothing is permanent. And the fact that you must be present and enjoying your every moment is of the utmost importance, because nothing is promised. Nothing is permanent. It never has been. The only thing that is guaranteed in this world is that things change. Okay? And it is your resistance to change that you are trying to bypass that is causing suffering. So the answer to my question, why must she be willing to accept that relationships end, is important. I didn't say that they will end in this way. Well, you should know. I didn't mean that they all must end as in, how do I say this? I'm trying to put this in the right way. I don't mean to say that they must end as in have this attitude of complete indifference. Because that's not what I mean. In fact, I mean quite the opposite. All right? The reason you must be willing to accept that all relationships must end is because it is a fact, first of all, of our existence, but it is also the tool that your ego is using to manipulate you into censoring yourself and censoring the expression of this relationship. Okay? So while you're attaching to something and refusing to let it go, you are causing more harm than good. This is the needy vibe that repels and that feels like someone's choking. Okay? For some of you that have not understood that sense of attachment, that's exactly what it feels like you're being choked. All right? So the reason you must be willing to accept that is because, like I said, it is a fact of our existence. Everything changes. Nothing is permanent. And by accepting that, you are bypassing, okay, your fear of losing someone. And that is the most important thing you will ever do in a relationship. Why? I'll explain. It's quite simple. See, your fear of losing someone is causing you to censor yourself. It's causing you to attach. And it's letting the shadow be your boss and not the other way around. And that is completely in misalignment with what love is. Actual love is complete and total freedom. Complete and total freedom of your self-expression. And it is also the taking on of something onto yourself as if it is yourself. As such, it is an insanity to treat something like you can lose it. And yet the paradox is necessary, because with that understanding, you are free to teach and treat someone as if every moment is your last. Everything counts. To love something unapologetically, to be there for someone, to truly, truly honor the fact that they are next to you and honor this expression of yourself is the most beautiful experience on earth. It is the reason most of us chose to die. Because I know you think you're living, but the living are actually dead. All right? And so as such, what you're doing is preventing your expression if fear dictates your actions. So it is in transcending the fact that all things end, because they do. in this world, all things end. And it is by transcending that that you allow for the fullest expression of your relationship. It is, I'm not saying to be indifferent and say, well, I'll lose it anyway. It's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying with the understanding that things can leave you, they come and go, because I learned this the hard way when I lost my child, or I thought I lost my child. Every moment is temporary. You don't know if tomorrow you will be hit by a bus. You just don't know it. Do you understand what I just said? You have no idea what happens tomorrow. So it is your responsibility to live every day as if it is new and treat this person accordingly. That is why you must be able to accept that the loss is inevitable. Now, hopefully, you will be with your person until you're an old lady or an old man. Hopefully. All right? No one's saying that it has to end in that sense. But here's the thing. That person is a sacred mirror into you. They are teaching you the relationship you have with yourself. And as such, you must be able to realize that you are going to grow and evolve, and that idea of the relationship you have with yourself may continue to evolve until you become a source being, until you become aware that this person is your mirror. You're not actually loving them, and you're not loving with the detachment required that allows them to come to you of their own free will and choose to be next to you and demonstrate this love in this way. So it's the paradox. It's the same paradox if you want to be wealthy. If you want to be wealthy, to the degree that you allow the wealth, you must be willing to accept poverty. You must be willing to bet it all sometimes on your dreams. Despite the fact that it appears that you're going to lose initially, you must have faith, not fear, that walks you through and that gets you to the other side of your desired state. So it is in accepting the fact that all things are temporary that allows you to not be resistant to change, that allows you to detach, and that allows this person to come to you. It allows you to become aware that you are the light and that this shadow is doing you the extreme favor of showing you the relationship you have with yourself. I've always said this, and I mean it. There is no one else out there. All bodies are mirrors into your state of mind. All people, all of them, they are sacred. They are God. They are you in every dimension at once. So in a relationship, it is your responsibility to be good to you on the inside, because the shadow can only mirror how you are to yourself. And in every way, this sacred being is honoring you by showing you what you need to work on. And if you're afraid to lose someone, you've already lost. You've already lost. Because you're letting fear dictate. And what did I say? Love is not fear. Love is not fear. Love is not attachment. Love is not ownership. It never has been. Real love. See, humans' conception of what they think love is, that is so erroneous sometimes, because you sit here and you think you can own something. You don't own shit. It belongs to God. And if you want the type of love that you died for, you must be willing to love like God, become God, understand that you are on display everywhere. And when you are truly undivided, truly unafraid to lose yourself, this allows for your unapologetic self-expression. And this is exactly what you want to be loved for. Because you see, in your freedom, you allow this mirror to be free to do the same. And that is so important. So when you all say, am I detaching so I can own something? You make me cringe. That's not love. That's your human conception and understanding of it. If love is an absolute freedom, it is not love. See, all of you desire to be loved in a very specific way. You want to be unapologetically yourself. You want to be cherished. You want to be valued. You want to be loved for who you are. This is self-loving mastery. Well, this cannot happen until you become it. Because I've said this a million times, and I don't know how many times I have to say it again and again and again and again and again, but I will. In love is love reflected. And this being can only show you what's going on in here. They will show you things that you don't want to work on. They will show you your fears. And as I've said, if your reality car has gone out of control because you've hit a patch of ice, you must turn with the wheel to get control of your reality car to get to the other side. This means not judging what they are saying to you and not taking it personally and becoming one with this being and remembering that it is one mind, one soul, not two. That the bodies are required to see into one another. But in real, honest to goodness, divine love, that which you died for, till you experience it here on earth, you must be one, not two. You must transcend your fears. You go through your fears to get to the other side. This allows for your unapologetic self-expression, which then allows this person to be unapologetically themselves. And now you have the most beautiful thing on earth, what I call mind power squared. It's actually not my idea, but I will use it right now. Or I guess it is me. It's just another me. Mind power squared means that your subconscious, you the feminine, and your conscious, you the masculine, have achieved balance, and your whole mind is on display. The reason this is so important is because if you want to be the universe inside your person, and you want to recognize yourself on every dimension, then you must understand what Corinthians means when it explains that you are looking into a mirror and you are partially known until you see your whole self. And interestingly enough, it is in the chapter of love where it describes what love is, and at the bottom of all of it, it says, remember, you are looking in a mirror. I have never given you any advice that wasn't written in Holy Scriptures or that wasn't the Bible. It takes y'all a long time to understand the words because those words are ancient and existed before the Bible. Okay? But this is your known universe, and so they're over 2,000 years old, and still some of you have not understood those words, so I am back. I am back. I'm back. And I will help you understand these words. So, as long as you guys are clear on what I said, you must transcend your fear of losing someone, and it is a paradox, in order to gain them. Because if you want to be loved for exactly who you are, you must be that. And unapologetically be yourself. And as you evolve, the mirror may change. You may up-level so much that your person is no longer your person. Why? Well, if you initially were seeking yourself and trauma bonding because you were seeking the familiar waters you were swimming in, and now you've up-leveled, this person has served their role and must go now. Must go. Because if they don't change, then you must be willing to let go of that. You see, as the light, the shadow will feel your departure immediately. The whole entire world will go dark. The pain will be so severe. Because, ladies, and you must remember this, you are the source. It is your radiance you are after. Feminine energy, because it's not just ladies. I apologize. I have the tendency to do that. But your feminine energy is the source. And you are looking to balance it against the mirror. And this sacred mirror, who is divinely God, just as much as you are, is what's on display. And as the feminine energy, or as women, or as gentlemen that are feminine, because I don't care what it is. It's not about gender, it's energy. Your responsibility to yourself is to love yourself with every fiber of your being. Accept everything about you. Forgive your father, your mother, your children, your everything that has served you. Forgive your co-workers. Forgive everything, because it is only from source perspective that you understand that every human being that ever hurt you in your life had to play that role for you to wake up. And so when you are free, and you don't fear, your ego has no power. Your ego cannot divide the two beings. But if you are not free because you're resenting what you're seeing on display as not you, your ego will be the reason for the division. And you will have not love every single time. Because your partial understanding of what you're seeing. You see, I get often a lot, Cindy, I'm scared right now. He or she is saying all the things I don't want to hear. I know it's me. I totally get it. I understand. It's so me. I see it. But what do I do now? Well, what do you do now? You take responsibility for the fact that you own the fact that they are doing you the extreme favor of telling you what's going on in your head so that you can see, so you don't drive off the cliff. Because you're fearful, negative, judgmental, angry, whatever thoughts that you're doing will drive you off the cliff, and you will descend into what appears to be not love. And you will get angry, and you will be a victim, and you will be mad because they showed you what you needed to see that you were doing to yourself. And this is an endless triggering battle until you can become peaceful within yourself. As such, it is your responsibility to look the beast in the eye and be like, thank you. I got this. I'm going to rewrite this. So if you guys are going to reparent yourself and use affirmations and get your mind right, that right there when you're most afraid because they're saying the things you're afraid to listen to, that is your opportunity. Not when it's not happening. I'm saying when it's happening, when it's right in front of you, this is your opportunity to become the light in the darkness and to overcome your fear. That's when you should use your affirmations. Not before. Fuck them before. I'm not trying to be a lunatic parrot. But I am going to do the work in the moment. And I'm going to demonstrate my faith over my fear to get to the other side, because otherwise your fear has control of you. Your fear is deciding and dividing and taking you away from the fact that you are the one on display. And as long as you do that, you are not love. I teach you all how to be the one. And by the one, I don't mean some cliche dating advice. I mean the entire universe at once. Because you are. See, I'm not teaching you something that you become. Technically, let me rephrase that for those of us that are very specific and autistic and very much paying attention to my words in a very, very specific detail. And I got a lot of you because you're me. You are becoming aware of what is. Love just is. You are love incarnate. And to the degree that you can be that, your mirror can show you that. But if you're going to bypass these moments, they will chase you. You say, I don't want to look at that, la, 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 la. They will chase you. Because you must unify with your shadow. You must become one with your shadow in order to understand the whole picture. So that one day, the love of your life, one that truly loves you, because it's a reflection of how you feel on the inside, will look at you and say, you are my universe. You are everything to me. I love you so fiercely I became you. And we are one now. And that alchemical process is found on the other side of your fear. So yeah, you're going to have to grab your cojones, whether you're a lady or not. We all have them. They're either inverted or external. Okay, you're going to have to grab those suckers. And you're going to have to walk through like a Navy SEAL through your fear to have the love that you're looking for. To be one. All of you say, well, I want to be physically with my person. I understand what you're saying, Sen, but doing all this on the inside, I still want to be physically with my person. Well, how the fuck do you think that person gets there? Do you see? Here's the thing. Y'all have to really understand what I'm saying, okay? When you master yourself, God makes you an illusion of another body and then appears. But if you are still divided within, you will be divided in the world without. And the illusion of time and space, let me explain what that looks like. It's going to be your person living in another house. It's going to be your person living in another country. It's going to be your person divided by borders. Can't you see your brain is symbolically telling you this bullshit? Y'all have to learn how to read the mirror. Your brain has been telling you this from the beginning. For those teachers that tell you nothing outside means anything, they don't have source perspective and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Your brain is always talking to you in symbols. And if you have divisions, it's because you are divided. And so the division will remain. And there will be land between you, and there will be oceans between you, and there will be time and distance between you. Because baby and sunshine, if you're not hearing me, you are the creator of time and space, of matter, of everything. And that has always existed. So if we are being divided in this way, if we are allowing fear to be between us, then that is the reason you've got oceans and land between you. You've got to live in other houses. They're with other people. I've told you this. You use the 3D components to bridge the divide. So if outside of you, you are denying that someone is you, you have locked yourself out of the experience. This is also inclusive of third parties. You see, the third parties are not real. They're not real. They are a symbolic creation, your mental creation of the fact that you do not feel worthy of this love. And so outside of you, it appears to be not you. And if you do not learn how to use it as a portal, it will remain not you. But if you understand what it is saying and you take ownership of it, then you bypass the divide. You go through the portal and you get your person. To the degree that you can accept being everything, you can have it all. To the degree that you remain divided, you cannot. This is the solution to all third-party problems. Because the truth is, if there is a third party, I'm not saying to go after these people, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But the truth remains that it is you, and that's why it is appearing outside of you, because you have disassociated from the fact that it is you, and that's why it appears outside, until you can go through the portal that you've created yourself and accept, this is me. Otherwise, they remain separate from you. You are learning to use 3D components correctly. You are learning how to see what is on display and solve the puzzle that you have created. Only the illusions are mental. Source perspective understands that. And as such, you have a responsibility to yourself to really understand what is in front of your face so you can understand what's behind it. See, what's behind it is your ideas, your constructions, and everything that you've made. That is the only thing on display. It's the only thing that will ever be on display. If you hear what I'm saying, you will be with your person. If you can accept that it ends, no matter what, whether it's through death, through evolving, through a new body, through whatever, you can have your person. You must work with the paradox, because the paradox has always existed. I've told you guys this. I told you what you don't want, what you do want, and you're smack dab in the middle, and your ability to turn around and understand what's on display will get you through every single moment. If you can understand what's in front of you, I promise you, nothing is impossible to you. But you must be willing to do the work in the present moment. You must be willing to look at it without fear. And I want to remind you of this. You are brighter than thousands and thousands of suns. You are that motherfucker. That light. You are that. You are so big, so massive, that you are beyond comprehension, because everything exists within you. So you are like the ocean and the fish inside that have no idea that they are part of the ocean until you pull the fish out. So if I were to catch you as a fish, this is your human incarnation that is unable to perceive the size and depth of the ocean that you are. You are this massive light. And the only way to have it all is to understand that you are all, or you lock yourself out of heaven. You lock yourself out of heaven. And by heaven, I mean your desired state. Because the undesired is what you call hell, and your desired is your heaven. You are both. You must learn to recycle your hell and make it heaven. But you can spend a lot of, as long as you want in hell, in your undesired state. You can stay there as long as you want. You can keep fear alive, or you can transcend it. That choice is up to you. But I've never changed my message I repeat myself a lot, which is why it's frustrating to me sometimes when you ask the very same question I just made a video on. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying. You guys are trying my patience, y'all. Okay? But I have never changed my message. It is the same message that is written in the Bible. So I understand. That's why I'm taking the word that is written and helping you understand it. So that is my answer. And that if you can do that, if you can learn to detach from your fear, if you can learn to accept that all things must end, then you will get to the other side because you will go through it. If you cannot, and you attach like a clingy person, or you're trying desperately to make it work, you are on the wrong side of the equation. And the law of reverse effort is not working for you because you're the one making all the effort. And you shouldn't be. Love just is. And let me explain something to you. As the divine feminine, you are the vortex. Okay? And we owe it to the divine masculine to teach them how to do this. So your understanding is just as important because they will mirror it back. So as the divine feminine energy, regardless of gender, as the divine feminine energy, you are the vortex. You are everything at once, which is why in the yin yang we appear to be the negative. Right? The feminine appears as the dark matter or the negative energy. It is not that we are negative. It is that we are everything at once. And since everything at once can't be translated into our human eyes, it becomes a vortex that is grabbing everything in its path. And it's really strong and it's pulling everything to it. Because it is everything. All right? Now, if you can accept being everything at once, everything is drawn to you without struggle. It's coming to you anyway. It wants to be with you. It wants to be with you. When you question your worth, these things that are coming to you anyway is the resistance that you feel, the struggle. When you attach, okay, it appears to be leaving you because your eyes deceive you. You see, it's coming towards you, but since you see backwards, see, I don't see backwards. I'm dyslexic. I see right side up. But because it appears to be leaving, what you have done in the human world, because it's upside down, is attach to something and go against the current. It's already yours. So the fact that you are struggling to obtain something should tell you that you're going against the current of the divine feminine that is everything at once. The masculine is only there to mirror you. It is Mother Earth and Father Time. Subconscious is the heart of all physical matter. Therefore, it is everything. It appears to be the anti-force only because it is everything at once. Your mind light, or your sense of knowing, or your conscious story, or your mental construct is the invisible force that is animating your construct. This that you cannot see is what's literally animating these characters so you can see what's going on in your head. That is your feminine and your masculine side of your brain. You are both. To the degree that you understand this, you understand being everything at once, you become that force that nothing can resist, that everything is drawn to. That when someone tries to leave, they feel like they're dying. It feels like death. I am not making this up. I wish I could. You're not making it up. It feels like death. It is the worst feeling in the world. And for some of you that have been on the wrong side of this equation, maybe you know what it's like to feel like you're dying, to feel like you've lost your radiance, to feel like you're dying. So to the degree that you can accept this, this is what it means. What God has put together, no man can put asunder. Why? Because as God and everything at once, the source and its mirror become one. It cannot be apart. You cannot lose yourself. You never can lose yourself. But if you decide to let fear dictate your behaviors, you are not only sabotaging your relationship, you will cast a shadow upon this relationship and upon this mirror. And this being will run on autopilot. Typically you're masculine, and will show you how you have failed. And if you miss being both of these things at once, you will resent this being instead of understanding it. And there is the source of all your fights. Because you are seeking unity in yourself to have unity in the world outside. I've explained this over and over and over and over again. The world outside is not real, but it is little r real, and it is always a confession of your character. It is always the story in here. That is the mind light that is animating the carcass so you can see yourself. Please remember to be both bodies at once. This is the reason you must learn how to love yourself, because some of you listen to me, you apply it, you do a good job, your person comes back, right? And then you fall back into the trap and you become divided again. You fear losing them, right? So now you're triggered and you're fighting, and you go back to that vicious cycle. If you learned how to love yourself, you would understand you first, then your partner will mirror you back in balance, in harmony, and will not be able to resist you. It is impossible, because it is you. You are the one that has to unify. I hope this helps. I hope you listen. I realize what I'm saying. Listen, you guys, what I'm saying is non-duality. I'm making it as easy as I possibly can, but understand this gift of non-duality is something that takes people years and years and years and years and years to understand. I'm trying to make it so simple a 5-year-old can understand. Do not overthink this. Simply listen. You are everything at once on display. Treat everything like a mirror. Look at every human being like your mind. Okay? Look at everything like your mind on display. It is non-dual because there is only one consciousness, one mind. Duality is the idea that you are separate from your universe. It is an insane idea. It is an insane idea. Anyone who is thinking that people are separate from them are literally insane. And I'm coming to you with the exact opposite message, and the only sane person in the house. Yeah, own it. Are you going to choose insanity of separation, or are you going to be sane and remember that you are one, and remember that you first, and then treat this person as if it's you? And if you're confused on how to treat them, that only shows me that you don't know how to love yourself. Because to the degree that you can love yourself, you are able to love another human being in every aspect, including receiving the love that you are emitting. Because that's the only thing that's happening. The love that you're emitting bounces off the mirror, comes back to you, and you are able to see yourself on display. That's all it is. And to the degree that you can be undivided, good luck keeping them away. Good luck. It's impossible. They love you. You can't turn love off. And you guys know that because I'm sure you've tried to get over your person and have trouble, right? Well, the only way to flip that script is for you to realize it's your own radiance you're in love with. It's the only way. And when you figure that out, when you know, when you are one, your person will want to be with you all the time. Not only will your person want to be with you, they will demonstrate the relationship you have with yourself. You will be spoiled. You will be constantly told how much you are loved. You will be constantly appreciated. You will be taken out all the time. You will be hanging out all the time. They want to be with you. And when they want their alone time, because you're no longer afraid of losing them, you're not going to act like a deranged woman with issues and be like, oh, I don't want you to go have fun because what if you see people out there? Insecurity is a bitch trait. I'm sorry. So you're going to have to grab your cojones and not be insecure. It's not cute. As source, every woman is made in your image. You are all source. Do not deny the kingdom, because if you do, it is costing you. It is costing you everywhere. It will cost you first in your relationships, then it will cost you in your businesses, it will cost you financially, it will cost you in your health, and later it will cost your self-expression. So you will become a shell of a person that starts to shrivel up. You will struggle. You will have to work for a living. You'll have to do things that irritate you. So, no more bitch traits. Let's own who we are so that our unapologetic self-expression becomes your source of abundance, becomes the source of everything, so that your square of life, you are smack dab in the middle of it in complete peace, knowing that your person will never leave you, not in that way, because you are your person. Knowing that no matter what happens, no matter what bodies are illusions, they're all illusions of you. You must become aware that you are the constant. You must not feel insecure or jealous of anyone. And anything that you see outside, if you are not taking ownership of being them, that is the reason it is appearing outside. And as such, you're not using your portals properly. That's what the mastermind class was about. Okay? Thank you guys. Love you.